What I love about prototypes though is how we're testing the final design. So we get this total predictability. So cases like this, which you'd think would be pretty straightforward, sometimes can be a little challenging because as we start doing the prototypes, in this case, we were actually trying them on. We were actually we can actually get them in a whole arch, but we put them on and we're like, these are the prototypes. I'm like, this is awesome. We've got a 3-unit bridge. We've got some implants. We've got all sorts of stuff going on here. But then the patient's like, oh, like this is amazing. You got to remember where we started, but I want to make some changes. Or, oh, maybe the occlusion's off or your design was slightly off. Like in the old ways, it was like, send it back to lab. We're starting over, right? Or we're hoping they got into the final. With digital, we're going to work all of these kinks out digitally. So we're able to overlay our old design and our new design. So our designer is going to just move things like, hey, we want to move the incisal edge 1 millimeter up. Or, hey, we adjusted the occlusion. We took a new bite. We sent it back. Now restitch it. And so the technician's able to make all these changes and we can make these changes for a patient. And because this is his second set, I've created a ditched model. And now we've got a cool model like this that I can try in his temps. And yes, like it blows me away. These are temps. Like you look at this and you can see the little connector in between. But now the patient gets to test run this and he's like, hey, Tim, love it. We're good. Let's go to final. Now I feel really confident doing what I love just as much as prototypes, and that's making the ceramics. So now I get to go make the ceramics, and then the delivery process is so much less stressful because we know the patient's going to like it. Now the question is, did we make it white enough with our ceramics? But it takes cases like this that with whether it's a picky patient or a difficult patient or a patient who can't make up their mind and stuff like that, it allows them to test run everything. It's always amazing for bridges. Bridges are kind of like my favorite part because we try to manufacture a lot of bridges, or if we can't fit them into 1 mil, we got to send it off to the lab. But we're able to do these long spans. And what's nice about this is we can test everything out before we ever have to go to the final. So I will test out the final design bridge to make sure, does that pontic have enough pressure? Does the pontic feel good? Does the patient like it? Are they getting food stuck somewhere? And if they're not, now we can go straight to final. It makes everything so much easier, you guys. Like the stress is gone. It takes different workflows that we didn't have before. Like I talk about long-term reliability. Like how long can these last? I'm gonna tell you right now, I've got some that are in for 4 years right now in different resins, which is always interesting. But think of cases like this. This is, I have a younger patient population. Like we see this all the time, the congenitally missing lateral with the peg, peg lateral next door. And, I hate these patients. Like I love my kids. I don't like everybody else's kids, but I hate these patients because this patient ends up in a flipper and Essex tray. And both of those either get disgusting after a couple of weeks of the Essex tray, or they break those flippers. And they always expect me to just magically fix it or my lab to fix it that minute. And I hate seeing my patients for stuff that's unexpected. And so what digital workflows and digital prototypes allow us to do is 3D printing changes the game for us, because now I don't do Essex trays ever unless it's for an implant that's healing. Like I will not do it because I don't want to see the patient back. Instead, we do something like this. We do a Maryland bridge. Now, one thing that's interesting here is that this is a 2-wing Maryland bridge. And we know through the research that for ceramics, you should do a 1-ring Maryland bridge. Prints are different, you guys. So trust me, do a double wing Maryland bridge. But now the cool part is, remember, the cost to manufacture these is nothing. And when I have a design, it doesn't take any longer to print 1 or 3 of these. If I have a young patient, we're waiting years for an implant or until they're ready for an implant, you can guarantee that I've got at least 3 Maryland bridges in their case pan waiting for when they break it. Not if, they're gonna break it. Kids are kids, they'll break everything. I just don't want it to disrupt my day or my team's day. So I'll pre-make these. It's amazing. And then digital printing allows us to do even cooler things where like peg lateral until they're ready for the ceramic. Let's do a 3D printed no prep veneer. Like it just gives us the capability to do things we couldn't do, which is ironic because, I showed this slide to my team members one time and half my team is so young, they don't know who this individual is. So if you're one of the listeners or viewers that don't know who Steve Jobs was, he was the founder of Apple. And one of his things with keynotes, he always said one more thing. And so one of the coolest aspects of printed prototypes and temporaries was on an area of the whole workflow that I didn't really realize. And that was the bonding process. And what I was amazed by is it allowed a basic, boring dentist like me to be an Instagram dentist. And what I mean by that is it allowed me to do amazing things like this. I could now sculpt tissue. Remember, I can't make temporaries worth a darn that aren't designed on a computer. So it allows me to control this. Now you can take cases where you do the whole mouth of preparations, all these veneers, and then you go to bond it and the tissue looks like crap, or there's bleeding and all this, like it'll ruin the whole case because it's how long it lasts. It's not about how it looks that day. We've all seen that. Everything looks good for the first 3 years. But it changed my mindset when you start taking cases like this. Like, how do you even approach cases like this? Like this is, excuse me, this is a situation where the patient has ill-fitting restorations because of caries, and it doesn't matter how much perio and scaling and rip planing they do here, like this is not going to heal because there's so much active infection everywhere. But when you have a workflow, it opens up the door to allow patients to see what's possible. And so what we do is we just take cases like this, we cut off all the ceramics, we use lasers, and we blow the heck out of all the tissue, and I get the best scan I can. And we scan everything. And then we digitally just mock it up next to or we stitch it with our mock-up, and we get something like this. Is it great? No. Is it perfect? No. Is it direct to margin? Not really, but it's better than it was before, and we allow them to heal for a second, and we allow them to heal for a little bit, and then we have them come back in a couple years couple weeks after really good oral hygiene and really working on this, and it's amazing what it comes back like. And all of a sudden now we're able to pop these off, refine our margins if we need to, rescan, and now we're able to go and actually do new prototypes that fit direct to margin, try that out. And once we've verified we like that, then we can go to final. And so it allows us to transition patients on very difficult cases when it comes to caries control, oral hygiene, all that, to don't rush the process. You want the bonding and the luting to be really well isolated with good, healthy tissue. This gives you the capability to help sculpt that. I never had that capability before, but digital printed prototypes open doors for me to do things I couldn't do. But it's important to understand, like, single teeth are one thing, but the goal with this is to open the door to do more emotional-based dentistry and do more of the dentistry you actually want to do with that full arch. And once we jump into that full arch thing, everything changes. And that's where the digital printed prototypes really shine, because I need us to remember it's not about the teeth. Okay. My favorite quote ever is from Mike Appa. Like, it's not about the teeth. It's about the life the teeth inspire you to live. And that's such a powerful quote because we're dealing with people. We need to help them along the journey. They need to test drive it. They need to see how it feels on them. We forget how much baggage is tied to all of this, stuff regarding their teeth. We forget about all that. And we need to set our patients up for success so they can see what's possible. They can start believing in themselves. And the printed prototypes are so powerful in that entire workflow. But it's important to understand we're not dealing with temporaries. We need to shift from the whole trial and error to insertion concept of temporaries, where we just deal with it and it is what it is, or we blame it on the lab. And we need to shift our mindset to a true test-driven replica of the final restoration. That's what a prototype is. So whether you're doing a single prototype of a single tooth, or your first full arch, or your first quadrant, or your first hybrid, or something like that, the prototype concept doesn't change. It doesn't. Think about dentures, you guys. Like, we test the most stressful aspect of a denture at the very end. Does it suction? We test that at the end. Does that not sound crazy to anybody? What if we had a prototype that we could print or have the lab design for us, so that way we could try in the fit and the phonetics and the feel of everything before we ever went to final? It reduces the barriers for you to say no to treatment, for patients to say no to treatment, and you have a lot more fun. So the overall workflow, remember, we want to design it. And by we, I mean our team, our lab, our team members, you, whoever it is in your practice at whatever level you are. We want to test it in the prototype phase. We want to test these out, make all our adjustments and changes, occlusion, color, contours, length, tooth forms. Like, sometimes, like, I'll even do if it's the anterior, say the anterior 4 or 6 or the segment, and a patient's really unsure of what they want and they've kind of got a face that could fix it, like sometimes I'll give them 2 different tooth forms, like a triangular shaped tooth and more of a square tooth, or more of a round or more of an ovoid. Like you give them the ability to just try it on real quick. Do you like this one? Do you like that one? And it reduces the stress of the unknown, because patients all have horror stories of hearing people have their teeth prepped and they were in temps for a while and they come back and these are the finals that they get. Like some people don't even show them before they bond them in. Like it's crazy. We need to shift our mindset. So I get really excited about this. It's such an amazing topic for you to jump into on Monday morning, regardless if you have a printer or scanner. Work with your labs, talk with your labs. I promise you're going to have so much fun for that. So my ask for you is just jump into it. Okay. So have fun with it. This was 3D printed temporaries in the modern digital dentistry or digital dental world, whatever it might be. So now we're going to hit some questions so that we can get you on to doing the rest of your day.